Okay, so I said I wanted to do a side-by-side walkthrough, like talk about these two decks, Crystal Visions and the Calandra Tarot, because I like the colors. I get a lot of the same like feel from them. So that's what we're going to do in this video. So if you're interested in that, stick around. um, the Calandra cards, this is a newer deck. And I don't know, the colorings and stuff like that just really felt very Crystal Visions to me. The energy feels Crystal Visions to me and stuff like that. So I really just wanted to like look at them side by side and kind of see how it all played out. Now my Crystal Vision still has borders. I wish they didn't, but they do, and I am not good at trimming because my eyesight is poor. So that is not going to happen. So the borders do bother me. Just so you know, they do bother me, but I'm going to try to ignore them as I do this because you can really like it really stands out that there's a border on this and not on this. So there's that. So anyways, both decks, they have extra cards. Like this is a wild unknown card, like the future might be unknown, or whatever you're asking about is not well known yet. And I like that. And this is above, so below. And it's like the idea of the duality. So they're a little bit different in that aspect, but you know, I like that too. Oops, knocked my camera. Okay, so let's take a look here. We've got the Fool here. Very female, very male. This is much more traditional, I think, to RWS. This still has RWS in it though, but instead of the dog, she has the butterflies. These are both very male colors. I like the reds. Both of them have like this red coloring in it, and I think that really works with magician energy. I like that a lot. The lightning is cool in this one. I think the lightning is cool. Ooh, the High Priestess. I like the High Priestess in both of these. Again, Calandra is way more traditional, and it follows Pamela Coleman Smith's more than I think the Crystal Visions does. Crystal Visions still follows RWS pretty well, but the way the art is done is quite different. I like the moon aspect, like the moon down here and the moon that she's like on down here. I think that's really cool. The Empress. Now that's interesting. Like this Empress is like pregnant, right? With possibilities and stuff like that. This one, not so much. But I like the little bunnies for fertility and stuff like that down here. And yeah, there's a lot of like fertility going on in this scene without it being specific to like harvest or pregnancy. So I think that's really cool. All right, the Emperor, another really heavy male energy. I like this Emperor better. I like that it's an older man rather than a younger man for the Emperor energy, for sure. The reds are, again, prevalent in here. And I like the little, like, ball energy going on in both of them. I think that's pretty cool. The Hierophant, female Hierophant versus male Hierophant. How interesting is that? I think that's female. It looks female to me, but I mean, it might not be, but it looks female to me. So I feel like there's way more female energy in this. But this, okay, the hand thing is still there. This, I don't know what that's called. I know there's a name for it, but I can't remember what it's called. And then there's the two people down here, which is, of course, more traditional than this one. I like the candle aspect here. I think that's really cool. And then the background of all of these different things, all of these different classes of knowledge, I think, maybe. The Lovers. Both are gorgeous, by the way. Both are gorgeous. Very traditional, very non-traditional. Well, kind of traditional, but non-traditional. I like the birds in this one and the aspect that it's wrapping the ribbon around both of them. And in this one, it's like sometimes people will talk about the Lovers having like a third person, like it might not be the Lovers, right, with this. But here's this snake. Like, look at this little snake here in the background. I think that's really interesting right there because it has that idea of something could be in the background that you don't know about, right? And it's on her side, interestingly enough, right? Not on his side. So that's interesting. Next is the Chariot. They're pretty similar. She's female in this one. I think there's a lot more female energy in this than there is male energy. Ooh, I like both of these. I very much like both of these. They very much stuck to traditional ideas for this. Ooh, the Hermit. Oh, these are so cool. I like seeing them side by side. I do. I think it's really neat. And I like how, even though it's more of a traditional aspect here, I like the little like off the cliff kind of thing, looking off into the distance. Same with this one, rather than just looking down at something and stuff like that. Like you're actually using the light to see something. And I feel like both of these cards represent that. the Wheel of Fortune. These are interesting. Very different Wheel of Fortunes, I think. This one definitely has more of a going around maybe feel to it. And this one feels more knowledge based than physical based, I guess. I don't know how to explain that, but that's kind of what it feels like, more spiritual knowledge rather than physical, solid knowledge. Interesting. Justice, both beautiful. I like that their feet are both sticking out in both of them. That's really interesting. And the wings for sure. The little balancing scales, the sword. She or he is looking up and she or he is looking down. So there's a little bit of differences there. Ooh, the Hanged Man. Also very different. But I like both of them. I really do. I like the aspect of the skeleton here, which is really like a different kind of aspect of the Hanged Man, I think. Death. Okay, very much prefer the Death card in the Calandra. This one I do like. I love the coloring. I love the art and everything, but I definitely am more drawn to the Calandra version. Temperance. Very good cards. Both of them have some of the same feels to them, so not a whole lot different going on there. Both of them have their foot in the water too. So yeah, her eyes are closed, hers are open. The Devil. This is different. And I prefer the Devil card in the Crystal Visions version. This is definitely traditional Devil. And the snake is coming up here. Or no, is that a snake? No, that's like it's tentacles of some kind. Or are they snakes? I can't really tell. But they kind of look like tentacles. But maybe they are tentacles. I don't know. It's really interesting. That's a really interesting aspect. Here, she's like eating the fallen fruit. So that's really interesting. And you've got like Pan or something in the background, you know, playing a song, like tempting. This feels more like temptation than this one does. The Tower, both great cards. I like that these guys are kind of like see-through as they're falling down, like they've been electrocuted. Something has happened to them, not just the tower itself. So I think that's really an interesting take on that. The Star. I love the star in both of these. Of course, the artwork is different, but I definitely love both aspects of the star, both of their feet in the water, all of that. Yeah, I'm very, very into the star in both decks. The Moon. Again, very, very good quality for both of them. I like that she has stuff coming out of her hands here, like power almost, or an ability. And I really do like that aspect of it. The Sun. Okay, so they both have the little kid and the horse in it, right? But I prefer not having just the little kid in it. I do find this a little bit more upbeat, kind of like, you know, that childish wonder positivity going on, whereas this is more like a serene positivity. So I do like the feel of this one better too. Judgment. Ooh, look at that. That is some judgment there. Holy cow. So this is a much softer judgment than this one, I think. She's got the skull in her hands. There's skulls back behind her. There's skull hands like out reaching for her and stuff like that. That's really interesting. She still has the trumpet, like she has the trumpet, but it seems like a much harsher version than the Crystal Visions version. The World. Both of these are great. I do like both of these. I like the animals that are added into this one, whereas this one just has the butterflies and like that peaceful yoga, like balance thing that's going on with the lotus in the world. So both are quality. All right, moving on to our minors. And I don't think I'll spend as much time on these. I think I'm just going to like look through them. I like the flowers in both of these. I think that's a really interesting aspect that both of these ended up with lotus flowers in them. This Two of Cups is very much more interesting because of the snakes intertwining in here, which I'm not even sure how I feel about that yet because it's kind of supposed to be more the lover card. And yeah, so that's really interesting. I do like the moon aspect in this one. Oh, the Three of Cups. I like both of these. I very much like that celebration with friends, that hanging out with friends feeling that's happening. Four of Cups. Boredom is definitely a thing. Five of Cups. This feels more like a despair kind of boredom, like something's hanging out that shouldn't be in both of them. Six of Cups. Oh, I very much like this one more. I like that she's like reaching back to a smaller version of maybe herself or something. I think that's really cool. Seven of Cups. I think I like the Calandra version better. Eight of Cups. I like the Crystal Vision version better, mainly because I like the female energy, I think. And I like her like coming up out of the water. And you can like see all these little potion bottles that are no longer part of her life. And she's actually reaching out to some nature to like lift her out, which I think is really interesting. Nine of Cups, the Wish card. Oh, look, she's got a dandelion. Okay, I like both of these cards. I like both of them for different reasons. 10 of Cups. These are both super sweet. I like them. Definitely more traditional, but I do like this softer aspect for sure. I don't know. Crystal Visions has always been a very big like soul deck for me, but the Calandra, like, it really has that energy for me too. So I'm hopeful, you know. Oh, I like how similar these Page of Cups are, like in the blonde, in the blues, you know, stuff like that, in the water. I like that. Knight of Cups, interesting. He's facing that way and he's facing that way. So, I mean, take that as you will. Queen of Cups. This is a very cool queen on both of them. They're, you know, very poised, very strong, very in it energy. King of Cups, both strong, very much both strong. I like the more sea-bearing aspects of the cups. I think that's a really cool aspect. All right, on to Pentacles. Not much going on that's quite different here. You have like leading into, there's this opening that is there, which I very much like. Two of Pentacles. Now this one's interesting because I would have never put water like this with Pentacles. So this is very heavy water energy mixed with the Pentacle energy, and I'm not sure how I feel about that yet. Three of Pentacles, the working together kind of thing. They seem happier to work together than these two, actually. So that's interesting. Four of Pentacles, both give off the same energy, that same like hold it to myself kind of energy. The Five of Pentacles, again, same kind of energy. She's holding a flower though, so take that as you will. Six of Pentacles, definitely like the abundance and the giving of extra. I like that. The male-female is interesting too. Like I said, I'm more the female version. I just think it's softer, more silent, strong type. I don't know if I'm explaining that well, but that's kind of how I feel about it. Eight of Pentacles, both hard at work. Nine of Pentacles, they both look like very strong characters. She's got a tiger and she has this, I think it's a hawk. I think that's a hawk. Yeah, it looks like a hawk. And then she's got a ball or something over here, like the pentacle ball. She's got an apple in her hand and then the peacock next to her. That's interesting. 10 of Pentacles. I like these. I like the dog aspect in both of them for sure. Page of Pentacles. They're, again, facing different directions. But they're not both music-based. She's music-based where she's not. That's interesting. Knight of Pentacles. Again, facing completely different directions. He's like going back that way and he's looking forward this way. That's really interesting. Queen of Pentacles. Very strong figures. She seems like the softer version. She seems a little more wild and harsh. Like, go ahead and do it. Try it. See what happens. The King of Pentacles. Both are good. I like both of these. They both give off the same kind of energy, I think. All right, on to swords. Okay, so this is really interesting. Like the sword is going down in this one, but it's going up in this one. So that's cool. Two of Swords gives off the same kind of energy. Three of Swords also gives off the same kind of energy, but this one seems like a lot harsher energy. This one is like, that is outside of her body, technically, like outside of her body. So I think that is a unique aspect to take into consideration with the Three of Swords in this deck. Whereas this one is like energy based, not necessarily through her body either, but energy based. So I think that's really, really interesting. And then the lightning coming through each sword. Ooh, take that as you will, right? Four of Swords, very similar energy going on here. Five of Swords, also similar energy, but this one's actually being stabbed in the back, whereas this one isn't. So I feel like you get more of the Five of Swords actual meaning in the Crystal Visions. Six of Swords, I like both of them, but this is the more traditional on the boat, whereas she's just like letting it all go and walking away. Seven of Swords, yep. I think I like this Seven of Swords as the more traditional version, you know, the taking of something. And this one seems a little bit more mischievous and playful than serious. Eight of Swords, both give the same kind of energy. Nine of Swords, again, the same kind of energy. But I like this one more because it's about the head. It's about the nightmares, you know, that kind of thing. So I think that I like this version better for the actual meaning. Ten of Swords, both are very good. He's got his eyes open. She's got her eyes closed, which is interesting. The blood is way more in this one. So I guess you could say Crystal Vision's a little bit harsher in that one. Page of Swords. Now, they both look like very strong characters. This one reminds me more of like a teenager. And this one's more like, I'm not even sure what, like just ready to fight, right? This one's more like defiant energy. And this one's more like ready to fight if I need to kind of energy. Knight of Swords. I like both of these. He's all for charging. He's kind of nonchalant charging. Queen of Swords. Both of these are really great. I like both of these in this deck. She definitely, I mean, she still has that go ahead, bring it, but she really has it. She's like, yes, go ahead, you know, F around and find out. King of Swords. Great energy for both of them. Both younger looking, which is interesting. This has got the lunar moths in it, whereas this has the crows, which is cool. All right, wands. I like the dragon hanging out with this wand for sure. There's the castle, or maybe it's a house, but it looks more like a castle in the background. Kind of like a traveling thing, which is cool. And it's got the leaves like coming off there. Two of Wands. Both gives kind of the same energy. Both looking the same direction even. The Three of Wands. Same kind of energy, but kind of looking opposite directions, which is interesting. One's looking towards the water too, but both looking down a path either way. Four of Wands, very interesting. A little bit different kind of energy here too. There's definitely more of a celebration here than there is here. Five of Wands. So I like this Five of Wands better because it kind of represents like, here's this playful energy, right? And then it kind of turns into less playful energy as you go. Whereas this doesn't have the same exact feeling. Like it starts off simple enough, right? Simple, and then it gets more primal into anger and stuff like that. So I think that's interesting to show both. Six of Wands, he's definitely more harsh. He's definitely go-getter kind of guy, you know, gonna get it. This one's just standing there waiting for it to happen. Seven of Wands, both of them are very much protective energy, you know, guardian or, you know, that kind of thing. Eight of Wands. Now, I find both of these interesting. The movement is in both of the cards, but in different ways. Like the horse is coming down is interesting, but the birds are flying sideways. Nine of Wands, they're facing different directions, which is interesting. And this one has flowers on his staff. 10 of Wands, both carrying burden, but in a different way. His burden seems like a much harsher burden than this one does. This one's like a sigh kind of burden, like I have to do this. And this one's like torture, like torturing myself. Page of Wands, interesting. They're both looking, well, he's looking in that way. She's kind of going that way. She's playing music, whereas maybe he's dancing. He does look like movement is happening in there, but I'm not really sure what he's doing. Knight of Wands, very much go-getter energy here. Mouth open, charge ready. This one, the horse is ready to charge. His face doesn't really look like he's charging. The Queen of Wands, very good energy here. Both of them are very strong energy. The sunflowers I like in this, but I do also like the lioness in that one with the candle. And last is the King of Wands. Both give off really strong energy. I like the lion in both of them. This one has that dragon, you know, hanging out around. And then this one has like the lizard. So that's interesting. I think they're both very interesting cards. I think they both represent that king energy. So yeah, honestly, I have reasons to like both of them in different ways, and I could see reading with them in different ways. I would still use this more as relationships, love kind of deck. The Calandra has more harsher realities to it. So I guess I think this could be used in love, but I think it could be used in self and in maybe some categories of like work and hard decisions. Like if you have a hard decision to make, or, you know, you're ready to face a little bit harsher of a truth than you would with the Crystal Visions. So Crystal Visions still, I feel, is my softer deck, my more loving deck. but I do like the Calandra, and I still feel like they give off some of the same kind of energy. So yeah, thank you guys for hanging out with me and going through a side-by-side look at both of these decks. I hope you have a very great day, and let me know in the comments what you think.